Well, because the fact is, grief and relational trauma go hand in hand.
They do. I had a
They
feeling.
really do they go hand in hand. And I love, by the way, that this book has helped you
Oh, yeah.
review your life and heal some of the stuff and have awareness of your behaviors like that. I love that so much. That it
Oh,
has
so much.
you.
And the songs, like, oh, we got to get to that. Don't let me forget that. I got to get to, like, for in each chapter, Frank has lyrics of different songs. He created a playlist to help him heal his trauma. And some of the songs are amazing because when I read them versus hear them, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that Aerosmith, Dream On had this thing, or REO Speedwagon,
Yes.
so yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit too.
Music has always, well, before we get into the music, let me
Yes.
go back to the grief thing. What people don't understand, and I didn't understand this for years. I was somebody who would watch a sad movie and burst into tears.
Oh yeah,
And
me
I'm
too.
like,
Me too.
nobody died like nobody close to me died. Why do I feel this? But
Yeah.
what people don't understand is that each time you experience a relational trauma, you lose the safe person. So
Oh,
there's this accumulative loss. Every time my dad got drunk, or every time my dad yelled and screamed at me, I lost a safe parent. So it was over and over and over again. So you accumulate all these losses relationally, even if the person's there. When
mm,
they're, the drunk person's like, I'm so sorry, right? Like when they're screaming and yelling at you, the next day they're like, I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again. So people don't realize that relational trauma is rooted in enormous grief. So we are so sensitive to loss because we've experienced
so much of
tons of
it.
loss
So much of it.
cumulatively over time. Yeah. And
But
that's
without
so
even thinking of it, that's a really interesting point, Frank, because some people like haven't like lost a loved one like to
yeah.
death, but you
Yes.
lose a connection,
Yeah.
even if a person's present, but they're
Yeah.
kind of
Not
distant,
yeah.
you feel a loss. Or if you've moved, even though the people that you move from aren't dead
Yes.
or gone, it's just a change. So,
Yeah.
like, there could be loss in things, people, emotions, and feelings, and that can then make somebody feel grief
Grief,
and
alone,
alone.
neglected,
Different,
abandoned.
different in a so
Yeah.
so here was the big aha for me.
Yeah.
Like, here I was thinking I was like this special person that felt abandoned in her life. And
Right.
that and like, first of all, I
Yeah.
wasn't even abandoned. I found out that, I found my biological
Yeah.
mother, and I have half sister and half brother. I found out that I was brought home. Like, who knew that? Like, who even knew that I lived? Imagine those siblings. They actually had it worse than I did because they had to like deal with all of that and
Yeah.
have to stay living with a woman that gave up her child
Yes.
that didn't want to, or that couldn't take care of her. And,
That's right.
and they lived to tell the story how lucky I was. And I was. So it's just at the end of the day, you learn about these various things, but you don't think about them. And you do think that
No.
it's just you. And so I
Right.
think your book also, and your messages for sure, have taught me everybody has this. Like, so
Everybody's had a version.